Good afternoon. It is, what's today? April 25th. It has been a while since I have filmed. I have been just pretty busy with work stuff, honestly, and just have not had the time. So I have a lot of updates for you guys. The last I talked to you, I think I was showing you guys our fence and shed. And so since then, I did some landscaping in the front. I was gonna film it, but it was a little bit too difficult for me to like film, and then also like I was on a time crunch, so I had to hurry up and do it. But I want to show you guys what I did to our front lawn and all that good stuff. So let's show you this. So I actually planted all of these plants. I'm gonna show you guys outside in just a minute, but I've got lavender in the middle and then some filler flowers in between. These are all like mounding perennials, the flowers are. And then I have like blue salvia on the end, some carnations, and then some silver artemisia, I think that's how you say that. And then in the back I have some red ruby muley grass. So I am super excited about all of these. And then of course up here I've got some hanging plants that I got, and it looks really nice. Nathan and I actually did the rocks ourselves. It looks rough right now because we have a neighborhood drain kitty that likes to lay in my flower beds and take naps. So she has been messing up my stuff a little bit. So we just put some more soil in this bed yesterday, but yeah, as you can tell from like the soil that's in the rocks, she has been laying in it. But we have some rainbow river rocks out there that I got, and I can't wait to show you guys what these look like wet, because they are so pretty, honestly. Like, I love the colors and they look really good with the house and like all that stuff. But I dug up all of I'll insert a picture for the before, but let me go outside and show you closer. Okay, so I dug up all of the bushes that were located here before and got rid of them. So here's a close-up of the plants that I got. They look a little sad right now. Some of them do, because they're still recovering from transplant shock, but most of them are doing really well. The lavender especially is bouncing back really nicely. And then this is also lavender. It's like a silver lavender plant. It does not look too great, and I have no idea why. So I'm thinking it's just being dramatic, and it'll probably establish some roots soon and start to look better. The muley grass is doing great in the back. It'll stay green like that until in about October. It'll start turning red, depending upon the weather for the most part. But that, and then these carnations, these ones look a little rough too, but they flower really, really pretty. And then the I think those are coreopsises, the yellow ones. These ones were struggling at first, but now they're doing well. But yeah, so these are the river rocks I'm talking about. There's some dirt in here because we just put this in here, but I'll show you what it looks like when they're like wet too. They're really, really nice. And then we also put some around our maple, which this came with our house. It's like really, looks really, really good. It is. We've been watering it, trying to make it look good, but here is a close-up of some of the rocks. They're just so pretty. I love rainbow river rocks. And then we moved our arborvitae actually over here, and then we moved another one over there. But I'm gonna show you guys the project that we're actually working on today. The actual project that we are working on today is getting my garden beds planted in. So I'm gonna show you everything that I just got, and I'm super excited to get started on this stuff. I will say, I really wish somebody had told me before I bought these plants how expensive it is, truthfully, to actually, or not plants, but I wish before I bought these garden beds that somebody had told me how expensive it is to actually fill up raised garden beds, because these costed, the garden beds altogether, I'll link, because I'm obsessed with what they look like. They're very pretty, very like my aesthetic when it comes to just like how I want my house to look and like all that stuff, and they're really pretty. And I've tried to like make sure that they were all level and like even for the most part, so I did my best, but I think for the most part they're pretty level. One of them does look a little crooked now that I'm looking at it, but I might be able to just move it over just a little bit, and I think it'll probably be straight. Here is what they look like. They were very unlevel with like my grass and stuff like that, so we just went ahead and filled up one with soil, and then I have this one filled up. I have to fill up this one a little bit more, and then these two are empty still that I have to put soil in. So I've got some soil that I bought from Walmart that was on sale today that we have to put in the rest of them. And then I got all the plants that I want to plant. So I'll show you the plants that I got. But these garden beds, I'll link these. I got these from, what was it? Grow.us or something like that. And then it's like Veggie Garden planters. It was about $800 for all 4 planters. Totally worth it because of their size. Like if you just look at my shed. And then look how big this planter is. These are some big planters. They're like 5 feet by 3.5 feet. And then so for plants that we're planting today, I got some of these. I've gotten a lot of flowers because I wanted some pollinators. These are daisies. I have like a box, or one of my planters is going to be just straight up like pollinators basically. So, and then of course I have herbs. I got basil, dill, what else? I got some chives, oregano, and I also got some tomatillo plants. But this one looks a little rough, but it's just water damage basically, so I'm hoping that it will be fine. I got some zucchini, some squash, some jalapeno plants, some, what else did I get? These marigolds, and then zinnias. I got a zinnia, like 3 or 4 pack, and then of course like some sweet banana peppers and some jalapenos, which I think I already said. Some poblano peppers, and then also, I think that might be it. Oh yeah, and I got a watermelon plant. I don't know if I'm gonna plant that one in an actual garden bed. Oh, and strawberry plants, but I do think that they will look nice in there. But I've got to put all of the tomato plants, and then I think some squash plants, like all the big ones that trail and like all that stuff, in this bed. And then I think herbs probably here, and then flowers here, and then maybe the strawberry plants back there. I'm not really sure which bed I want to put the strawberry plants in, but I'll get them in there. But I just wanted to tell you guys what we were doing today because I'm super excited about it. And yeah, so I'm gonna get started planting all this stuff, and I will show you what everything looks like once it's been planted and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. I know I have a ton of stuff on my table right now, but I love how like fresh flowers have been lately, so I've just been buying them and then putting them on my table setup, and it's honestly so nice. But we are about to write out all of our plant cards so that way I can make sure that I know what everything is, because every time I plant stuff I don't end up putting the cards and then I always forget like what did I plant. So we are gonna go in and just put these on the plants. And I actually got these from Amazon. They're plastic. They did have wooden ones, but I didn't want to get wooden ones because I've heard that they mold. So we're gonna actually just use these. And I might know what the flowers are without labeling those, so I don't know if I'm gonna label the flowers, because really the flowers are just pollinators anyway, and like I'll be putting them in my house for the most part whenever they actually are able to be picked. But yeah, let's go ahead and write down all of our plants. Okay, so I finished planting, and so in the first bed we have watermelon, strawberries. ChatGPT did me dirty because it said to plant the strawberries in a bed by themselves, but I told them I had 4 beds, and I didn't even count like when I was doing the math on what it was talking about. But basically, I was a bed short, so I put the strawberries on the border because I only got 2 strawberry plants, and I think they'll be okay. But I have to cover this whole side with netting to keep the actual whoops, you can't even see. So I have to cover this whole side with netting to keep the birds away from it, because they love some freaking strawberry plants. And then there's zucchini and squash, and then the watermelon that I'm going to attempt to grow is there. And this one is the big grower bed, I will say. So this one has chives, sweet banana peppers, oregano, and then it also has poblano peppers, basil, a aroma tomato plant, and then on the end right there is a red chili pepper plant, and then that's a jalapeno plant right there on that edge. So that is everything in this bed. And then also I planted some chives that are buried in there. And then so for this bed I have cucumbers. It told me to do cucumbers on the entire back row, so that's what I did. I'm gonna get like a trellis stake one of the wooden ones probably to like stick back there, so maybe they can trail up that trellis. And then some tomatillo plants, this one and then this one. This one looked rough when I got it, but I think it'll probably be okay. And then what else? We got dill and parsley also in this bed. And that is everything that I have in the beds that I have planted right now. And then the flowers I am going to plant as soon as the rest of my soil is delivered. It is on its way from Walmart, so it should be here before the end of the day, and I can just go ahead and plant those in this bed, and then all my flowers should be good. I messed up also because I wanted to keep my flowers all in this bed that's the closest to the house, so that way you could see them all, but I had already planted all of this stuff in that bed, so unless I dig this all up and then move it over, then the flowers are not going to be right there. So but I did want to keep the flowers closest to the house, but apparently I messed up, so it's fine. I'll probably just leave them, honestly, because I think it's actually better that they're not so close to the house, because we're gonna have tons of bees, and the bees are all gonna be in the house, or close to the house, and I don't want that. But I don't mind them being over there as pollinators, so that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I think that is everything that I am planting right now, and then as soon as the rest of my soil comes in, I'll catch up with you guys and let you know how the flower bed is looking that has just the flowers in it. But yeah. Morning, it is the next day. I did not film anything else yesterday because I was waiting on the soil to come in, and then the order got canceled from Walmart and it never came in. So unfortunately, I did not get the rest of my soil in yesterday to plant the remaining flowers that needed to go in where they needed to go. So this morning I am actually making some sourdough bread. It has been a little while since I made a loaf. The last 2 loaves I made were inclusion loaves, and I'd never made inclusion loaves. Well, I did make inclusion loaves before, but they didn't turn out as good as these 2 that I just made, and they were so good. They literally have me so excited for all the stuff that I'm growing in the garden, because once that stuff is ready to be harvested, I can just make so many inclusion loaves, and I'm so happy about it because I just think they're gonna turn out so good. Because like, I have been on my sourdough stuff, you guys. Like, I have not made a bad loaf in like forever. I say that, but then like today, watch this one not turn out good. But anyway, so I have been on my sourdough stuff heavy and making some really good loaves, and yeah. I am just mixing that up now though, and I don't have enough active starters, so I like half the recipe a little bit, so I'm gonna make smaller loaves. But so that is what I'm doing this morning. But now I reordered the soil from Walmart this morning, so hopefully it will come in today, and then I can go ahead and get the flowers planted. Honestly, I'm not gonna be doing a lot of fun stuff today, but I did want to bring you along. I'm gonna be pulling weeds, but also we want to kind of do our own trellis situation for the flower, or for the, not flowers, for the cucumbers and the squash that I'm growing. So I'm trying to see, and then maybe also the tomatoes, I'm not sure yet. I did buy tomato cages, but I don't love how they look, and I really want my garden to look a little aesthetic, okay? So I was like, okay, well, maybe I can figure out a way to do it without having to use the tomato cages, or like make my own, kind of like with some like wood from like Lowe's. So I'm gonna see what I can find and look up and all that stuff. So if I can find some good stuff, then we'll probably end up doing that today as well, because I have to get those around it soon. And then I also have to put basically like, I have to cage in my strawberries and put netting around them, because if not, the birds will take all of those strawberries out. So that is what I'm gonna do. And also, so that's pretty much what we're doing today. But right now, like I said, just working on making some sourdough bread. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. Hopefully the soil will be in by then, or we'll just be pulling weeds and you can watch me pull weeds, which not too much fun, honestly. But hey, it is necessary, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, your backyard has so many weeds. Trust me, girl, I know. I did the whole front yard one day and it looked really, really good, and then like I only did one side of it, and you can clearly tell like which side I did, so I need to go back out and pull all of the weeds from the other sides. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Another update, by the way, that I did not give you guys is that I was able to get the pendant lights finally for the actual kitchen, and it was a pain to put these in. I'm not gonna lie. We ended up having to buy different bases, and it took me and Nathan like all day to get these put in because the bases that they had were not the right size, and like the hardware wasn't correct, and like it was just a pain. But I did get these pendant lights in, and they just look like my friend said they look like they belonged here basically, and I totally agree. They're just so nice. They make me happy. But now that we got them in, the pendant lights actually cover a lot of the actual light from the light bulbs, and the light bulbs are not that bright. So we need to get some brighter light bulbs to go in here to try to like enjoy it a little bit more, I think. So we're gonna work on getting some brighter light bulbs for this. But I am obsessed with these though. But I wanted to show you guys which ones I got, and I'll link them. I didn't want to get the typical boho lamps, or the typical boho pendant lights that you see like everybody have, because I didn't love those lighter colored ones, and honestly they just didn't really match the vibe that I was going for in the space. So these ones are actually brown and black, as you can see, and they just go so nicely with like all the colors and everything that I've got going on. So I'm obsessed. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and finish up this sourdough loaf. Okay, so I finished pulling all the weeds, and as you guys saw, that were in the backyard, and then a couple of other areas that I pulled, and then also Nathan pulled some weeds as well. But we just ate a little lunch, and I am about to go shower and all that stuff, and then we're gonna go to Lowe's because I need to get something to make trellises with for the cucumbers, and then also the tomatoes I bought cages for, but I don't really want to use the cages that I got because they're green, and I just don't think they match the aesthetic. I know gardens aren't necessarily always meant to be aesthetic, or like aesthetically pleasing or whatever, but I just feel like I can make it aesthetically pleasing if I try, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's what we're gonna go do. But I forgot to tell you guys, so I did get my hair cut. I cut a whole bunch off because it actually, you know, it touched my butt before I got it professionally cut, and then also professionally dyed black. But I feel like hair dye is a waste of money because I feel like I'm already starting to see like, and it's permanent too, I feel like I'm already starting to see like lighter brown spots in it again. So maybe it's a waste, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I'm gonna get some overtone black color conditioner, and then I'm gonna touch it up that way. And then whenever I have to actually go get my roots touched up, I'll have to go in person to do that. But yeah, anyway, I finished pulling all the weeds, and I am just about to go shower, and then we're gonna go to Lowe's, and then I'll show you guys the trellis situation that we were trying to build. Okay, so we finished our DIY trellises, and I'm gonna show you what we ended up using. So because I have metal garden beds, we ended up getting these one-hole straps and also some bamboo stakes from Lowe's. The bamboo stakes for a pack of 4 is like $6, so it's really, really affordable. And then I'm just gonna try to trellis all the plants up these, even the cucumbers and stuff. So here's what I did, my trellises. I like that they're not super thick. They're pretty sturdy, believe it or not, and we just use this wire to hold them together. And they don't move for real. If they do move, it's just because there's not enough, like there's some space in between these little one-hole straps, but we're gonna put styrofoam in there actually to keep these from moving. Just like some small pieces for the ones that need it, but really this one might need it, but there's some other ones that are a little bit skinnier, so they might actually need it. And then I just mulched the top of the beds, and then I got the soil in this one, but I haven't planted them in yet, the flowers or anything. So let's see what we got. And then for this one, of course, this is for a tomato plant as well, and then I did 2 right here, so there's there's 2 tomatillo plants right here. So I may have to move, I'm gonna have to unplant these plants that are in this bed because the soil actually sank down quite a bit. So I think I'm gonna have to replant these tomorrow, and then add another layer of soil on top, and then add the mulch on the very top. So that way these ones can be just, you know, a lot higher up, and then I think they'll be great though with both of these trellises. It was a really easy thing to do. Honestly, like anybody could have done this. I watched a YouTube video on how to do it and it was just perfect. So super excited on how these turned out, and I think they look so much better than having those ugly green like tomato cages. So these are a lot more aesthetically pleasing in my opinion for like a garden. I don't love that these wires are green, but I don't really care honestly for that because that's what we had and this was cheap. So yeah, I bought around 3 or 4 I brought like 6. I got 5 packs of the bamboo stakes. That has like 6 per pack. So, and I have a bunch left over. So I'm gonna end up using all of these for that. And it should be good. Okay, so we finished doing the trellises. I think they turned out really good. And I'm about to cook our meal prep for the week now. We are still meal prepping and all that jazz. It's just easiest for me, honestly. Nathan rotating every 2 weeks, it kind of works out for the best when we just meal prep, honestly. So that is the reason why we are still meal prepping that. And of course, like Nathan is still, like he's on a health journey as well. So we're trying to like be diligent and make sure that we're getting all of our protein in and stuff like that still. So I'm still just doing the same old, honestly. And I feel like I'm trying to get back seriously into my workout routine because we've been doing so much stuff lately that I just have not been consistent in the gym. And so I think I like ended up not working out for at least like a month and a half. But this week I got back on it, and then I'm getting back to it for the rest of the year, hopefully, now that our garage gym is actually cleaned out and usable again. But I have been like just knee deep in getting these raised garden beds together and finishing them and all that good stuff. So yeah, I did end up painting my bathroom. I'm not gonna show you yet because it's a separate video and I haven't gotten everything hung up for the after pictures yet, but as soon as I get those hung up, then I will have that video posted of me like color drenching the bathroom and all that stuff. So I bet you can't wait to see it. It's gonna be nice. So yeah, we are just gonna finish meal prepping, and then it's probably all I'm gonna do the rest of the day. So I'll probably just catch up with you guys in the next video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the stuff that I used for the trellises or like garden related questions in general, just for reference. I think that I'm in zone 7A for gardening, but when I look it up, I get 7A and then I also get like 8B. So I'm not really sure, but I think it's 7A in the like Huntsville area. So Huntsville, Alabama area. So that is why we are planting. But yeah, so we are just gonna go ahead and get all of that stuff done, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.